Okay, should I start?
Yes.
Okay. Chapter 6, Rukmini's childhood. Several weeks passed, and Amba had not come for a visit. I hoped that this was a good sign and that her husband was treating her well, but I worried since I had no word from her. In the time since she had left, I had created a double bubble around me, and little Ishan occupying myself with caring for him, taking joy in every step of progress that he made, and sharing those joys every night in my conversations with Undav. During the day, we were spending more and more time in the beautiful gardens that Mata had created. I had not taken much note of time. Wait, no, note of them. During my first month in the women's quarters, but gradually I grew to appreciate how she had and how she and Anjali had beautified the outside areas. Lining the walkways where were some gardens of carefully tended marigold of many variety, lilies, jasmines, hibiscus, and Krishna Kamal. What's a Kamal? What's a
Passion fruit.
passion? Okay. Presenting an ever-changing spectrum of yellow, pink, purple, and reds. We had no such gardens in the community where I had grew up, and I finally fully delighted in the vast sea of color that met my eyes as I walked the paths. I recognized many of the flowers because my mother had one on my mother had on occasion taken me to a public garden. Mata had created in the center of Dwarka, and she had pointed out each flower and told me its name. Now I greeted them like long lost friends. Farther down the walkway, farther down the walkways past the lotus pond and the stream near the my small marble temple or where vegetable and herb gardens. All the women who passed through the quarters took turns caring for the flower and vegetable patches, no matter their family background. It was one place where we all worked together because, as Angel said, nature has a healing and energy. The more you work with the soil, the quicker will be your recovery from physical and mental disturbance. I had just returned from a walk in the garden with Isha when I met Sumati in the hallway outside the room where I stayed, explaining to me to a woman and just arrived, but there were no empty beds. She asked if that woman and her son could share my room. How could I refuse? I who was only a a guest there, of course. Sumati. I assured her glad that I would be able to give someone else the care that Amba had given me. I have not forgotten Anjali's words about this being the only way to repay the kindness Mata showed us. So, the woman who came to share my room was thin and haggard with a worn look on her face, an indication that she had not had an eye left. Easy left, not sorry. Easy lie. That sorry. She had a small child with her. Taking me aside, Sumati explained that this woman had a very tense relationship with her husband's family, and that they had thrown her out after his death. The family wanted to keep the child, a small boy, but she had escaped with him and had come to Mata for help. I felt honored that Sumati trusted me enough to ask me to be of service. In fact, it was a boon for me because it prevented me from fully withdrawing into my cocoon for forcing me to reach out. The woman whose name was Shukanya kept mostly to herself. Her 6-year-old son Astavakra was well behaved, but he clung to his mother, and at first would have nothing to do with me and Ishan. Gradually, However, he came to take an entire interest in his small roommate, who was now smiling and as expressing himself. The baby sounds. One day the boy asked me where Ishan's father was. He was gone to the heavenly realms. I replied quickly, just like my Pitaji. He asked. I nodded. Then Ishan must be sad as well, he replied glumly. I took him by the hands and looked into his eyes. I said, Astavakra, you are very fortunate because you know your Pitaji. You remember what he looked like, what his voice sounded like, the way he addressed you and hugged you. You remember his smile, don't you? I nodded. He nodded. Then you remember many things about him. Am I right? Again he nodded. Then you are very fortunate because Ishan's Pitaji left him before he was born. And so he will never know what his father looked like. He will never know the sound of his voice, of his laugh. He will never know any of those things, but you will always have the memories of your Pitaji. That is very sad. That that he will not have those memories, he replied, crinkling his face. Yes, yes, it is sad, but he has me, just like you have your Amma. And it would be sadder if he lost me. Wouldn't it? He nodded and ran to cuddle with his mother, who was lying on her bed listening to the conversation. A broad smile crossed her face as he entered his her arms. Later that day, the mother asked me what had happened to Ishan's father. I did not answer right away. Wondering if I could trust her as I so was wanted to do. I needed another confident someone with whom I could share my innermost feelings. Could she be the person among the women who passed through this halls? Only Amba knew my story. As I sat there pondering how much to share Anjali's words came back to me. The woman will leave from here, and they may speak to their families and will somehow seep out that you are alive and her here at the place with your son and Uddhav's son. As long as Mahendra lives, you will be in danger. So do not speak of your past. She had advised me in that way on a number of occasions, reaffirming Mata's words. He was killed in a robbery. I replied simply, I am sorry. She hurried to say, I only ask because you are so young. My husband was much older than I had. I and died. Then I and died from natural causes. I was his second wife. Somehow I felt that your situation was different. that your husband had not died a natural death. You are right. He died violently and much too young. But forgive me for not speaking of it. It it is too painful. Then I asked what happened to the first wife after your husband's death. She threw herself onto the fire. What's fire? Fire. They wanted me to do the same, but I refused. How could I leave my son? She was older than I and not I in good health. She had given my husband 3 daughters, but no sons. The daughters were grown and married. He married me in the hope of having a son. And this child was his glory. How he loved us, Astavakra, when when he fell ill, he told me that I must raise Astavakra for him and give him all the love and training he would have given him. I made him this promise. So how could I end my life when I had this responsibility? I could not, even if I had wanted to. I am young and still have the desire to live. His first wife had nothing without him, and her daughters' marriages had taken them far away. She also did not get along with his family. Nothing either of us ever did us did was good and did was good enough for them. I told her to go live with one of her daughters. But this is not the custom. She became very sad when he took ill, and so it was her desire to end her life. It was a sorry affair. I did my best to stop her. This exchange bonded us, but it was not the same kind of bond I had with Amba. It was I who had the care for Sukanya, even though she was older than me. And this responsibility helps me to feel that there was a place for me in this hidden sanctuary. These words tucked always away from the rest of Dwarka. There was a service I could provide. Some weeks later, Anjali came to see Sukanya. She told me that Mata had secured her a safe place in Sukanya's brother's home. Sukanya was surprised. My husband's family has accepted this. Anjali laughed. That gentle laugh of hers that I was coming to understand us if to say, do you not know Mata's power? Well, they did protest a lot. She replied. Soon after your arrival, here they approach and approach the court and demanded the return of their grandson. The only boy called off. The only boy child of their son. The ministers listened respectfully and said they would consult with Sri Krishna about this matter. Mata then stepped in and told Sri Krishna that no child should be separated from their mother. He agreed and announced this decision. The family protested, but Mata had already approached your brother to seek refuge for you and Astavakra. He was eager to help, as he said he was against the marriage in the first place. Sri Krishna told your husband's family that after a time, if they accepted the arrangement that Rukmini had provided, they would be allowed to see the child in the company of his mother, and when the child grow older, he himself would decide where he wanted to live. They were very reluctantly accepted this, and so the matter is settled. Your brother is coming for you in a few days. Okay. Sukanya was pleased, although when the time to leave arrived, she stood before me and said
Thank you.
hastily, I don't know what awaits me. I should be overjoyed. I am relieved. But I am also sorry to leave this place of place and peace and duty of such tranquility. Being her has settled my heart and lifted the sadness over me. My husband's death. How can that be, Sujata? How can my sadness feel so quickly? I don't know, Sukanya. I can't say that my sorrow is gone, but my heart is certainly much lighter now. You are right about this place. Mata has created a world of tranquility and beauty. So different from what existed outside. I have not left here in over 8 years, and I am almost forgetting what it was like out there. But I don't know that there is much so much sorrow and struggle and meanness outside of this protective walls. In the time that I have been here, I have not heard one inconsiderate word, not seen one inconsiderate act. There is nothing but care and love, and I don't believe that comes from Mata herself. After a pause, I added, you are very fortunate to have a brother who will take you and your child. That is a blessing inside. Indeed. You are right, Sujata. I am fortunate that my brother will take us in. Perhaps one day your brother will come for you. She said innocently. I don't have any sister or brothers, and my parents are long gone. I replied. Absent-mindedly, but after these words escaped my lips, I said to myself that it is our nature. I do have a father, although I doubt that I can ever see him again, and I have a brother, but where can he be? I wondered if Abhishek know anything of my fate. I brushed this thought and aside, not wanting to admit to myself that perhaps he had forgotten me. My community believed I was dead. That it is what they would tell me tell him if he ever returned.